Hello everyone, my name is Neomustic and welcome to the first tutorial on how to make textures. I know I sound boring today. As you guys know or saw, all my videos have been deleted. I basically got hacked. My previous project, which I was doing tutorials on as well, that got hacked as well. My Facebook got hacked, my Twitch got hacked. I made some people really angry. But yeah, everything got hacked, so I have to start all the way from zero. And I'm not feeling like I should do everything at once. I don't feel good about it, so I'm going to start with just making some cartoon textures. What I'm going to use for this is I'm going to keep the cube. I am going to give it its normals. How to do that, I might as well just explain it. So everyone knows the little puzzle thingies in which you need to do the sides. Let's see, this one and that one, where you need to you get a piece of paper, you need to cut it out, and then it makes a cube. Well, basically we're going to do it in the opposite direction. We're going to select the faces, the edges that we want to cut. I'm going to do spacebar, mark seam, and that makes it look kinda reddish, like, don't know if you guys can see it, but that's supposed to be red. Then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go to UV editor, just to drag out the screen, so you get two screens. The UV editor, I'm going to make a new thingy. Let's, for this one, 1024 should be good. I'm going to call it wood, since we're going to start with wood, and the next following days I'll be doing wood, stone, whatever the hell you guys request me to do. But yeah, we're going to start with wood. I'm going to select the entire object, press U, and select Unwrap Project, so it looks like this. Now I'm going to do nothing anymore in there for now. This is basically so we get a visual representation of the texture that we're making. So new wood, okay, and this is going to be our screen. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to make this as close as possible, as tiny as possible. I'm going to change the view to paint, press T so I get this bar, and here I'm going to do some setup. Where it says styling, make sure you selected both of these, because as you can see, if we go like that, if we go over the edge, we end up on the bottom side. So I can make a nice looking circle thingy. It took me way too long to do that, but yeah. So we need to turn that on. Where it says paint stroke, I'm going to use line for now. And text draw, I used to have a button that says paint, well, draw, but I messed up somewhere. I'm going to use a brownish color as my base color for the wood. I'm not going to make it too dark, because wooden planks aren't too dark. And I'm going to left click in the screen. As you can see, if you put the strand up, this is what it's going to look like. I don't want it to be this bright. This should be better. Okay, so now with this color selected, I'm going to go really dark, like somewhere over here. I'm going to go to text draw, and I lost the color, so I'm going to press S, select the color, and select it over here as well. It makes a little list with all the colors you have. Selecting them and then pressing delete will delete the ones you don't need. So this is the color that we had. I'm going to make it a lot darker. I'm going to turn down my radius to, like, is 10 good enough? 10 should be good enough. Let's say 12. I'm going to turn the strength all the way up. This strength basically means the lower it is, as you can see, it gives it a fine line. Come on. 50%, a little bit darker line, and 100% gives a fat line. Of course, if I do 10%, 18% and I go like this, as you can see, the parts that are overlapping become darker and darker. But yeah, I'm going to go to about 90%, put a dot in the middle, and I'm going to draw a line like this. I'm going to do the same somewhere over here. Again, a line on the edge. I don't really need to make a line on the edge, I can just follow the edge, and as you can see, it shows up on the other side as well with a little problem which I can fix, so no worries. And the third line. So these are going to be our wooden planks. It doesn't look like much at the moment, but they will look like something in a second. I'm going to change this to 10, lower the strength a little bit, and now what I'm going to do, I don't need that. Now where it says line, I'm going to put it back to space, and I'm just going to draw some random wood lines like so. And as you can see, the little dots got darker, but that's no problem. Also, I'm using a mouse right now. I know it doesn't look like that much, but in a minute it's all going to change. Okay, so there, and this over here. Like so. This one like this, and this one like so. And over here one. Also, I saw many people do it in a different way. Everyone does it the way they want it, of course. I just like the way I do it. I like it best. So this is starting to look a little bit like planks. It's like really cartoonish, but that's not what we want. Not especially not for what we're making. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go to smear, pull up the radius, pull up the strength a little bit. I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to draw out, I'm going to smear out the edges. Also, I'm going to make this look a lot cleaner, like so. Come on, give me what I want. Like that. One over here. On this thing, I'm going to do the same. Like that. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to mess around with it a little bit more. So like this, I am going to put up the strength a little bit more. Okay, so let's see if we can take this out of here. Okay. Also, since this is a tutorial, I'm not going to put too much work into it. I am going to do the basics. I am going to show you guys how it works. But I'm not going to do like you can see in my time lapse with all the special thingies. I'm just going to do basic stuff. I imagine if you have the basics like what I'm showing you guys here, and you go to the video, you can easily find out how to do the other stuff as well. Okay, like there. This one up, this one down. Also, if you have a tablet, this is going to look a lot nicer. I'm on my computer, I'm using the mouse, so it's going to look a little bit nasty compared to what you can do with the tablet. So as you can see, it's all starting to look a lot nicer. Come on. Okay. So we've got two done. Like I said, I'm not going to put in too much detail, but what I will do is drag this out, like here, push this up, pull this down, so it looks like it's made like this. Over here as well, so two little side thingies, and the rest I'm just going to do really fast. So nothing fancy, just some wood lines. I still have other things to explain. Come on. Okay. Like there. As you can see, I keep messing up because my mouse doesn't really work that well with me. But yeah, if there's anything special that you guys want me to show you how to do, you can always tell me, and I'll do a tutorial on it. I'm also very sorry about the tutorial series that I didn't finish. I don't know where I stopped, because, well, being hacked isn't that nice, isn't that fun. But I will start and redo them all. Okay, so this is starting to look a little bit more like the wood that we want. Now I'm going to go back to draw. I'm going to select the color that we used for the background. I'm going to make it a little bit darker, lower the strength by a lot, up the radius, and I'm just going to go all the way over it, maybe a little bit more strength, a little bit darker. Okay. This is too dark. Okay, like so. Just to give it some details. Normally, the next thing that you should do, and I'll show you guys how to do it. Natuurlijk. The next thing, you lower your radius, you lower your strength, and then you just smear it out so it doesn't look like you have a lot of dots and stripes all over your board. I'm just going to do that a little bit over here, but not too much. Okay. So yeah, something like this. It looks less dot-like. Maybe I should up my strength just a little bit. Okay, so you actually had to do that before you draw the lines, but that's detail at this point. I'm going to go back to draw. I'm going to take a very, very light brush, lower my strength and my radius, like I think 10 should be, no, let's say 7. And this is just detailing what I'm going to do now. So basically just draw next to it. Doesn't matter if it doesn't look too nice, but that one is too hard. So I'm going to lower my strength a little bit more. There, this is better. So basically what I'm doing now is I'm giving it some details. If you look it from afar, you can see it has a little bit of detail. It could have been done better, but just watch my time lapse. God fucking damn it. Just watch my time lapse to see. God fucking damn it. Yeah, sorry, I'm not in a good mood. Just watch my time lapse if you want to know how to do it correctly. And of course, I'm going to do these two. The others I don't care about at this point. And I'm just doing it really fast as well. Do you guys ever have those days that nothing wants to cooperate with you? Well, I'm having one today. Oh, fuck it. Hold on. This isn't better, but just a little bit, and a little bit is enough. Like so. I'll try to do the edges, but I'm going really fast, so it doesn't always work. But I would advise, if you do it for a job, it's best that you do it correctly. So yeah, as you can see, it starts to look a little bit nicer. I'm going to go back to smear, up the radius. The strength is good, but the radius is too big for this. And again, I'm going to smear this out. I'm going to make it look nice and equal, like so. And I'm making a lot of mistakes today. So yeah, this is basically detailing that we're doing now. And I'm doing it really fast. So don't expect to see too much. Okay, like here, and this should be the last one. Okay, no, this one is the last one. There. Like I said, it didn't have to, has to be perfect, because you'll go over it like I just did. Come on. There. So this is basically the wood that we've just created. But it does need one more thing. You can use it like this. I mean, it's nice and looks good. But I like to give it one more little detail, and yes, it's all in the details. You could also make these lines darker if you wanted. But I'm going to go for another detail. Let's up the strength. The radius needs to go a little bit more down. No, that's too low. Let's say 40, because it's just a tutorial. I'm going to go back to line. I'm going to go over the edges, and as you can see, it becomes a little bit darker, but not dark enough. So I'm going to up the strength. Still not dark enough. Again, up the strength. You just have to see what you like best. This one is what I like, so I'm going to use this strength, and as you can see, it gives a little bit more detail to our wood. I know it looks really bad, but I'll show you two pictures of wood that I made using this style as well. I'm going to press T so I've got more room. I'm going to save image as to my desktop so I can delete it. Woody, you can call it whatever you want. You save it as an image, and then you can close this one. Now our cube. I'm not going to go to edit mode. I am going to go to this tab. With the material, since it's cartoon, it doesn't need any light reflections, because we basically make our own light reflections. I go to the texture tab. It's right next to the material tab. Where it says type, I'm going to do image or movie. Normally it should be on that, but I did something wrong. I'm going to press open where it says image. I'm going to find my Woody image. And if I go to material now, it's going to be completely black. And why is that? Because I deleted my light. So once I get my light, you can see something. It's nothing special. Where the hell is that light? Okay, I'm going to increase the light give off. Okay, so our top face, it looks nice and clean, but this isn't what we wanted. Well, this is what we wanted, but we want it on the entire thing. You can also play around with this if you go to the texture tab, you go all the way down, and where it says coordinates generated, you press UV, because that's something that we actually needed to do. I am going to add another light so we can see it from all sides, and put this one down. So yeah, this is basically our texture that we placed on top of the model with our nice looking details, but this isn't the size that we want it to be. So select the object, go to the texture tab, and in mapping, where it says X and Y, because it's a 2D texture, I'm going to just adjust it a little bit. As you can see, this looks a little bit better, and if I press 10 and 10, as you can see, it's really seamless. It goes into each other nicely. Also on the corners, as you can see, it just continues. You can of course change this. For example, I don't want the top face to align with this face, and the bottom face has the same problem. I see these ones are going like horizontal, this one's vertical, and this one just follows on the vertical ones. Then what I can do is I can go into my UV mapping, rotate these 90%, and as you can see, it touches nowhere. And this was basically a tutorial on how to make wood. Now, like I said, I am going to show you guys some wood that I made. Where the hell is that map? Textures. This is actually my first try at making wood. This is my second try. It looks a lot better. So if you practice, you can achieve something. And this one is a third type of wood kind of style. I am going to show you guys how to make this. It's like a rooftop thingies with nice edges and crevasses or whatever it's called. I'm also going this is just some steel plating or wooden plating with nails in it, not too much. I am going to show you guys this. This is basically just a floor path, and this one is what's it called? A stone wall. I know I've been making a lot of walls in the past, and I will do the same. This is bark. It looks like brown fire, but this is bark, and I think it looks pretty nice. But yeah, these are things that I'm going to show you guys how to make. I'm not going to save Woody because it sucks. It's just a tutorial. But yeah, and let's say you're making a top. If it's a normal game where you can walk, it's best that you make the details really small. I mean the texture really small, like I did here. And as you can see, it doesn't look repetitive or anything, because we did put a lot of stuff into it. You could also make a line over here and put wood in another direction on it. But yeah, this is basically the texture. If you go to top view, let's say you're making an RTS game, then it would be good if you, where the hell is it? 5. If you're making an RTS game like a lot of people are recently, you can use a style that is less big and you still have it. Something else that I will show you guys, and I will do this after I made a couple of these textures, that is basically how to make them into one UV map, like this UV map. These are the walls, windows and the roof of a model. Or this one, it's basically a metal texture, and I think it looks really cartoonish and really nice for basically what it is. But yeah, these are things that I'm going to teach you guys, and I might as well, since I'm still talking, show you guys the model turret. So yeah, this is what the model looks like with all of this on top of it. It doesn't look too bad. Even if I say so myself, it doesn't look too bad, and it's for a top-down, top-view game. I did mess up the unwrapping a little bit because it's overlapping at some places, but next to that, because you can see it on the middle line, the next to that, it looks pretty nice. This is an unfinished thingy, so don't think this is completed yet. But yeah, these are things that I'm going to show you guys how to do. And if you guys have suggestions on what you want me to show you guys, what you want me to teach you guys, you can always give it to me, and I'll see what I can do. Have a good